Okay, now that my mic is actually on, hello everyone. Thanks for joining me. It looks like people are actually watching. So hello everyone. I just wanted to really quickly get on and say thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers. um, yeah, like I really cannot comprehend that many people clicking subscribe on my channel and like liking my content. So thank you so much for being here. Um, Hello, hi Kieran. Thank you so much. Andre. Egwene is not the main character. I think you could make an argument that she is, but I think she's one of several main characters, in my opinion. But agree. We can agree to disagree. Hi Rachel. Thank you so much. This is literally just me sitting on my bedroom floor and just talking to a camera. And I also have my Himalayan salt lamp for the good vibes. Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm wearing different glasses, and these don't have like the reflective coating. These are my spare glasses because my other glasses broke after 5 years of wearing them. They finally broke on me, so now I have to wear these. And I didn't get this reflective coating on them, so I did not have the foresight of, I never thought I would have a YouTube channel where this would be a problem. So, yeah. Thank you so much, Rachel, for stopping by. I love you. Hello, Greg. Hi, how are you how you doing? Oh, Rachel, stop. Hi, Crystal. A Fantasy Network. Shout out to Jimmy, the best in the business. Jimmy is awesome. He just released a review of The War of the Flowers by Tad Williams, and he just completely sold me on that book. I already had bought it because he was raving about it so much while he was reading it. But after watching his review, I literally want to drop the rest of my TBR and start The War of the Flowers. His review was really good. Go check him out, the Fantasy Network. Thank you. I'm currently reading The Black Sun by Rebecca Rowanhorse. I'm technically reading 4 books. I'm also in the middle of the audiobook for The Hod King by Josiah Bancroft. That's the 3rd book in the Tower of Babel series, if you guys have heard of that. It's the first book of that series is Senlin Ascends. Yeah, it's really good. It's very different. The series has definitely taken a direction that I wasn't expecting. But yeah, like I said, I'm also reading Black Sun by Rebecca Rowanhorse. I decided that I really wanted to read all of the Nebula Award nominees. So far, I've read 3 of them. Well, actually, I've read 2 of them, and I'm currently in the middle of the 3rd one. So I read Network Effect by Martha Wells, which was the 5th book in the Murderbot series. And yeah, that was really good. I definitely want to do like a whole Murderbot series review sometime soon. When the next book comes out. I feel like it's like at a weird time because I'm like caught up on the series, but also the latest book is coming out this month. So there's like really no point for me to do a series review like so close to the next book coming out. So I'm just gonna wait and read the book. But yeah, I just went on a whole ramble about all these books, and I don't even remember what I was talking about, but hello, QNTG. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you. Yes, I was on Daniel Green's Jeopardy, and shout out to Daniel Green because I feel like I gained like 181 subscribers in one day, which is like I'm sure a lot of you found me from that video. So thank you so much to Daniel Green for having me on his channel. Like, I'm just a tiny little booktuber. Like, that was really cool of him to reach out to me and have me on his channel. And it was a lot of fun to be in that Jeopardy. It was kind of nerve-wracking, not gonna lie. I was like, at one point, I was like -800, and I was like, oh my god, if I end this game with like a negative 800, I'm never gonna live it down. But luckily, I managed to redeem myself a little bit. But yeah, thank you so much to Daniel for having me on his channel. And yeah, he's just such a great booktuber. He's a great he really makes this community special, I think. So shout out to him. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. Hi, see, here's Jimmy being his awesome self. Go subscribe to Jimmy if you haven't already. He's the best. Yeah, for sure. I know a lot of people really love this series, The Tower of Babel. So it's kind of underground. It's kind of like a niche. I don't like the people who love it, but I haven't heard of a ton of people who, have read it outside of like r/fantasy. Like I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it on BookTube. So I'm really excited to make a video about the whole series soon. Oh, thank you, Nemo. Thank you. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think book 4 is coming out in November. So, yeah. Hi, Clara. Thank you for being a Discord mod on my Discord. Everyone say shout out to Clara because she is awesome. Thank you, Ethan. Yeah, 2,000 people is a lot of people. Can you imagine just like talking to 2,000 people at the same time? Like, that's so weird. It's very hard for me to comprehend. Yeah, but thank you, Ethan. Yeah, Murderbot is so good. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about the whole series, but it's so good. And like, it just makes me feel, I was not expecting to feel as many emotions as I did when I read Murderbot. Like, it genuinely is a very emotional story. Like, a lot of sci-fi tends to be very like, it just gets really bogged down in like the scientific details and like, like the jargon of it all. And Murderbot does have that. Like there is a lot of like sciencey stuff going on, but the real heart of the story is just like the emotions and like, oh god, Murderbot is awesome. It was a lot of fun, like just binging through the whole series. Hello, Lost in Discovery. Thank you so much. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with when I was like negative 800 and I was like, "Oh no, if I end this game with so much like I can't end this game so down." Like I had to make a little bit of a comeback. Hello, Bane and Shad. Is that how you say it? Shiad? I've never actually had to say that name out loud, but thank you so much. Joanna, thank you so much. Joanna is one of the best people in the entire booktube community. Every time Joanna comments on one of my videos, it's always a good day because she takes so much time and she's so thoughtful and she's just genuinely one of the best people I've had the pleasure of meeting through booktube. So yeah, definitely go subscribe to Joanna's channel if you haven't already. She has been making some awesome Malazan content and her content is just as thoughtful as all her comments are always thoughtful. Did that sentence make sense? You guys know what I mean. Go subscribe to Joanna. She's awesome. And KD Books, thank you so much for stopping by. KD was one of the first people to discover my channel. Like he was one of the OGs. So thank you so much for stopping by, KD. I really appreciate you. Yep, Katie has definitely been here since the beginning, so thank you. Trouble getting into Wheel of Time. Well, I don't know. Personally, I never had any trouble getting into Wheel of Time. Like I read Eye of the World when I was like 12 years old, and I read the prologue and I was instantly hooked. So I find this question really hard to answer because it's just like I never personally had any trouble getting into Wheel of Time, but I think a lot of people have trouble with like the very Tolkien-esque nature of The Eye of the World, and I would say that if that's a problem for you, if you don't like how similar it is to like Lord of the Rings, that definitely stops like pretty soon, like in the second or third book. It definitely diverges and becomes its own thing. But yeah, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, if you don't like Wheel of Time, like there's so many other series out there for you to consume. So if you don't like Wheel of Time, that's fine. Like, you know, it might just not be your thing. So, you know, you don't have to force it. But I definitely think that a lot of people say the first book, The Eye of the World, is definitely like one of the like least better books. You guys can really tell that I have to edit a lot because I cannot speak spontaneously, but like it's one of the worser books in the series, and I think it's definitely not it definitely gets better, I think. So that's what I'm trying to say. It gets better. So yeah, if you're having trouble getting into it, you know, just stick with it, and maybe like by book 2, I think the ending of book 2 is definitely what like sucked me in. Even though I loved the first book, like the ending of book 2 to me is like Wheel of Time at its best. So give it until the end of The Great Hunt, and if you still don't like it, then it might just not be the series for you. Yeah, definitely join my Discord. I don't know if I have a link in the description. I definitely have a link in one of my descriptions of my video. So come join the Discord. It's a fun time. Thanks, Michael. Thank you. Aaron, I don't know what number that 2,000 million gajillion four. Thank you so much. For sure, yeah. I'm currently in the middle of Memories of Ice, book 3 of Malazan, and yeah, I took a random break, and now I'm reading a bunch of other stuff, but I am reading Memories of Ice, and I'm really enjoying it actually. It's really good. Um, yeah, I don't want to talk too much about Memories of Ice because then this whole stream will just be a rant about Malazan and like all the thoughts I've been having during this book, because Memories of Ice is just, there's so much stuff being revealed in terms of like the magic system and like backstories. And yeah, I don't want to get into Malazan though because it's just gonna be a whole nother rant. But yeah, thank you so much for supporting my channel. And yeah, the Fellison video that I made was, I'm really proud of that video. I put a lot of work into it, and yeah, I'm glad that so many people responded so well to it. So thank you. This is very embarrassing for me, but I haven't read that many South Asian inspired fantasy, and I really do want to correct that this year. There's just, I don't know, growing up in America, like I just didn't get introduced to a lot of South Asian fantasy, and now that I'm part of BookTube and I'm like actively looking for more, you know, diverse books, more books that I haven't, you know, maybe heard of, like I'm finding out that there's so much fantasy out there that's been inspired by like South Asian mythology. And yeah, I do want to get into more. I know that there's one series by Tasha Suri, I think her name is. That's one that I'm really interested in. Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir as well. So yeah, I'm so sorry. This is very embarrassing as a South Asian person that I don't know that many, but yeah, like honestly, growing up, I just didn't read a lot, and so it's kind of it's kind of something I want to correct for sure. I'm lost. Oh, hi Andy, thank you so much. I'm super behind on the chat, so I'm sorry guys. Sorry I keep rambling, but thanks Andy. And let me plug in my laptop before it dies. Hold on. But yeah, thank you so much, Andy. Andy is another person who's been here since like basically the beginning. And yeah, Andy is such a wonderful person, and he's always been so supportive of my channel, and he has some of the best booktube content. So go subscribe to Andy. I'm sure that if you're subscribed to me, you already know about Andy's channel, but just in case, Andy's a fantastic person to have in your subscription feed. So yeah, I know I'm in my room right now, so there's no bicycles or rats or dogs. My intro to fantasy. I think the inheritance cycle is definitely my intro to like adult, more like epic type of fantasy. Yeah, the inheritance cycle by Christopher Paolini. And sorry, I've talked about this on my channel before, but there used to be this internet forum called the Inheritance Cycle, or the Inheritance Forums. And I used to go on those forums like every day, and there was all these people who would talk about fantasy, and that was where I heard about Wheel of Time for the first time. And yeah, those forums were just incredibly formative for me as a young girl. Like I would go on there every single day, and there was just all these people. It was kind of like Reddit before Reddit was a thing. And yeah, that was definitely like my big intro to like fantasy that I read today. Like that's probably the most the thing that kind of started it all. Yeah, so my dad actually got a bunch of rat traps, and our garage is now completely rat free. So no more rats in my videos, unfortunately. Thank you, Clara. Yes, I do have a bookshop affiliate link if any of you would like to use it, but I don't really have a favorite bookstore, actually. I used to go to the Barnes& and Noble in the city where I grew up. Like, I used to go there every single day. Like, I'm pretty sure the people over there were like, does this girl have nothing better to do? Like, I remember my senior year of high school, I went to Barnes& and Noble like almost every day to do homework, and I would like buy soup there. So as generic as an answer it is, I think the local Barnes and Noble in the city that I grew up in is probably my favorite bookstore. Yeah, once the pandemic is over, y'all, I'm hitting up every single indie bookstore within like a 50-mile radius. I am going to single-handedly save all indie bookstores near me. Like, I'm going to spend so much money on indie bookstores. Like, before the pandemic, I never realized like how nice it was that indie bookstores are a thing. And like, I don't want the pandemic to be the thing that like ends that, that institution of indie bookstores. So yeah, once the pandemic is over, I'm going everywhere. And I'm just spending all my money. I'm buying all the coffee, all the books. But yeah, I mean, in the meantime, bookshop.org is a really great way to support your indie bookstores, and also support me a little bit, because I get, if you use my affiliate link, I get like a small commission, and then also indie bookstores also get like a commission out of it, I guess. I'm not really sure how it works, but that's what I've read. So you can go check that out if you're interested. Yeah, I'm really interested in the audiobooks. So I read Wheel of Time like I just saw a different comment, but I read Wheel of Time like the regular way with physical books. So I definitely one of these days I want to go through and listen to the audiobooks because I've heard amazing things about them. And this person says, "Does Rand get less annoying?" I don't know. I think that's a I'm gonna say it gets worse before it gets better. I don't know. I don't think that's a spoiler. Thank you, Epic Tales. No, I haven't read Daniel Green's book. I'm assuming I haven't read it. Honestly, from the synopsis, it's not a book that I would normally read if like if I was just in the bookstore and I came across Breach of Peace. Like, it's not a book I would normally read. But I mean, I might read it just because it is, Daniel Green's book, and it is such a like kind of a hot topic. But I haven't read it yet. But my TBR is miles long, so I'll probably get to it one of these days. But yeah, just in general, like I feel like grimdark isn't generally my thing, so I wasn't like I would feel bad if I read it and I didn't like it, and then I like you know I don't know. It's just not normally my thing, and generally I don't read books that I know I won't like. If you know what that means, like at this point I'm 22 years old and I've been reading for like over half of my life, and I generally know what my taste is, and I don't like to deviate from it because I just don't like to read books that I know I won't enjoy. But yeah, maybe it's something I'll read sometime down the line, but not anytime soon. Oh, Clara has a good Roshni. I'm not gonna say the name, but South Asian fantasy rec. Thank you so much, Clara. I think I accidentally went down to the bottom, so Tasha Suri. Yeah, I maybe we can buddy read it. I'd be down for that. Okay, I'm gonna go down to the bottom so that I'm actually caught up on the chat. Hello, Stephanie. Thank you. Yeah, like that's generally why, yeah, that's exactly why I'm generally very positive about the books that I read because I just don't read books that I know I'm not gonna like. Like it's a, it's kind of, and also my booktube is not like a professional thing. I understand like reviewers who have to read books like on assignment and they have to be kind of objective about it in a sense, but like for me booktube is purely a hobby. So I only read books that I know that I will probably enjoy. So it's kind of like a I don't know, like a feedback loop, like a positive feedback loop. Is that what that thing is? Hello, Ash. Thank you. But yeah. Do I read any sci-fi books? So I generally don't read sci-fi. I would say last year I read To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini, and I kind of hated it. So I generally don't read a lot of sci-fi, but I have read sci-fi and loved it in the past. Alistair Reynolds is one of my favorite authors just of all time. He wrote Pushing Ice, which is this book about these miners who like they go on different asteroids to like mine them for like metals and stuff like that. And so these miners are out in space and then they end up like coming in contact. It's a first contact story with like all these aliens. And yeah, that's like one of my favorite books of all time. So I do read sci-fi sometimes. It's just like not my favorite thing. Oh, and also I'm reading A Desolation Called Peace by Arcady Martin, and that was really good. So what are they going to tell? Thank you. Oh yes, I have read Will White's Cradle. Oh, my dad's coming. I have read Will White's Cradle, and I'm currently on the fourth book. It's really good. It's not my favorite thing. Like it's kind of like a TV show for me, like where I read the books kind of like episodically, and it's not super deep or anything. So it's a nice like it's something I read in between big series, like especially with Malazan. It's nice to read Cradle in the middle. My mom is calling me, but yeah, I would say Pushing Ice is a really good. I would say Pushing Ice is a really good start, and also he has a book called Revenger that I really liked, and so that's about these like two sisters, and it's like a space sci-fi thing going on. Um, that's a terrible description, but basically like these two sisters uh, like they're space pirates. Like, so one of the sisters gets kidnapped, and then the other sister has to like go find her. And so yeah, that was a really good book as well. Okay, for sure. I'll put that on my never-ending TBR. Oh, interesting. I definitely haven't read as much Reynolds as I would like to, so I'm interested to read that. But yeah, Alistair Reynolds is a very good sci-fi booktuber, or no, booktuber, author. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone for joining me. I'm thinking I'm gonna wrap this up since my family's home now. I thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers, and yeah, thanks for joining me for this spontaneous live chat as well. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you for all the book recommendations and for hanging out with me for a little bit. And I will say hi to them. Glenn, thank you so much. And bye, guys. I'll see you next week in my next video.